And now stand by for adventure.
3, 2, 1.
In the exciting story of the Lunar Luger. It's midnight on 00 Island. One by one, the lights in Scratch's cave, Squeak's cozy cottage, and Colonel Bleep's secret laboratory blink off for the night. Only the watchful eye of the powerful radar scope remains on guard. But on distant Pluto, far beyond the range of the radar scope, Dr. Destructo's fortress stronghold is aglow with eerie light. Inside, this crafty culprit gloats with glee as he tests his newly invented Lunar Luger. Destructo is sure his super weapon, with its forceful ray of condensed moon power, will prove more than a match for Bleep's mighty futomic energy.
At last, I have harnessed the power of the moon. Tomorrow, Bleep and his space deputies will die.
At dawn, 00 Island springs to life. Space deputies, fall in. Space deputies, man your craft. Space deputies, blast off. Once again, Squeak and Scratch are off on their morning space patrol. Little do they know, however, that at this very moment, the sinister saucer of the evil Destructo lurks in ambush, only minutes away. And look, this time, the villain is armed with his powerful Lunar Luger. Sizzling Saturn! Bleep's deputies won't have a chance! Stop, fellas! Go back! This is no ordinary weapon! Stop! Stop! It's too late! The scooter is dead at Destructo's gun sight! Squeak and Scratch are trapped! Their space scooter is locked in space by moon power!
Aha, my friends! You are now in my power, moon power! With one more blast, I shall guide your space scooter to smash it on the mountains of the moon far below.
Unknown to the villain, however, while he bragged of his super weapon, little Squeak had switched on the spaceophone, and Colonel Bleep heard every word.
You are in my power, moon power.
Moon power? Bleep speeds to the rescue. But is the Colonel's futomic energy supply strong enough to free his helpless friend? Already Squeak and Scratch are plunging headlong towards certain death. Hurry, Bleep! Hurry! There they are. With careful aim, Bleep fires a mighty bolt of futomic energy. He did it! He stopped the fall! But Destructo's Lunar Luger barks again. Now Bleep replies. They're free! Futomic energy has won again! Hooray! But Colonel Bleep knows that war with Destructo must go on. Must go on until this master criminal and his deadly Lunar Luger are destroyed forever.
And now stand by for adventure. 3, 2, 1. In the exciting story of
The Pirate Plot. For countless centuries, the moon of planet Earth was the happy home of the hard-working moon mites, tiny lunar farmers who harvested crop after crop of tasty, tender moon mushrooms. Here the moon mites lived a very carefree life until one day the men of Earth, who knew nothing of the existence of the moon mites, shot a powerful atomic test missile straight for the moon. The moon mites faced sure destruction, but just in time. Colonel Bleep and his deputies streaked to the rescue. Quickly, the colonel futomagized a stack of mushrooms. Then Deputy Squeak tossed the tiny moon mites aboard. And Deputy Scratch rocketed them off to safety. But now the moon mites are without a home. So Colonel Bleep has been assigned to escort the little creatures to a place far beyond the reach of Earthmen's deadly rockets. Little does the Colonel know, however, that even greater danger lies ahead. For at this very moment, they're being watched by the evil eye of Black Patch, the terrible space pirate.
Shiver me timber, mateys. There's a swarm of flying moonlights dead ahead. Blimey, every one is worth a fortune as a slave in the red pepper mines of Pluto. After 'em, mateys. I'll be the richest pirate in the universe.
Great galaxies! Will Colonel Bleep discover this new threat in time? Can he save the moon mites from a life of slavery? Silently, the pirate galleon closes in. The evil pirate, vacuum in hand, prepares to sweep up the unsuspecting victims from under the very nose of Colonel Bleep. This is terrible! Black Patch is cleaning up. Can nothing stop this awful plunder? Sizzling Saturn! Squeak and Scratch have been sucked into the trap, too. They're all prisoners in the brig of the space galleon. Now the pirate speeds off for the Pluto pepper mine. At last, Bleep has discovered the treachery, but it's too late. Bleep can never catch them in time.
Advance, mateys. The pepper mines are dead ahead. Nor will swap our cargo of moonlight for their weight in glittering gold.
But the gleeful Black Patch is unaware the powerful Scratch has sprung open a porthole. One by one, the moon mites leap out and are quickly picked up by Colonel Bleep, who is trailing the galleon. Just as the pirate ship arrives at the pepper mines, Scratch locks the porthole back in place, and now Squeak, the puppet, takes command. Black Patch and his bloodthirsty crew are prisoners in their own trap.
Now, see here, mateys. Have a heart. Old Black Patch was a meaning no harm. It was all a joke, just to spice up a pirate's dismal, dreary day. Honest, mateys.
Okay,
Black Patch. If it's spice you want.
Try a dash of pepper. Gesundheit, mateys. See you in space.
And now stand by for adventure.
3, 2, 1.
In the exciting story of the Prehistoric Present. The morning sun beamed down on the entrance of the cave home of Scratch, the world's only living caveman. Scratch, as you know, fell asleep several thousand years ago, and probably would have been sleeping yet. But the first atomic test explosion blew him right out of the past and into the present. And now, with his friends, Colonel Bleep and Little Squeak, the caveman's life is filled with exciting adventures, wonderful adventures, like the time Scratch smelled smoke and saw a fiery glow inside his cave. He dashed inside to find Squeak with a giant birthday cake, all aglow with candles, just for Scratch. The happy caveman jumped for joy and made a very special wish when he blew out all the candles. And then Scratch felt sad, and big tears dripped from his eyes, for he felt sure that his birthday wish could never, ever possibly come true. For Scratch had wished to return once again to his prehistoric past, to play again with Dimples, his lovable pet dinosaur. Yes, Scratch missed Dimples very much, and now he would never see her again. But to Colonel Bleep, nothing seems impossible, and so the spaceman's birthday gift to Scratch was a golden key. The key to Scratch's wish come true, for this was the key that operated Colonel Bleep's Futonic Time Transformer, that fantastic invention which made it possible to transport anything or anybody anywhere in time or space. Quickly, the caveman hopped aboard, and Bleep adjusted the time controls to allow Scratch to visit for 1 hour with Dimples back thousands of years in the past. Squeak turned the golden key as Scratch waved farewell. Then the whole contraption suddenly vanished as it raced backwards, carrying the caveman through time. Then suddenly, there he was, back home again with Mama Scratch, Papa Scratch, and Dimples, dear old Dimples, Scratch's pet dinosaur. Meanwhile, back in the present, Bleep and Squeak watched the dials and signals of the Futonic Time Transformer as the minutes ticked by. The hand of the clock was rapidly approaching the time for Scratch's scheduled return. There's the signal. Now Bleep throws the reverse control switch. But Scratch is having such a wonderful time, he forgets to climb aboard, and the machine returns empty. Quickly, the Colonel sends it racing back. And again it returns, but this time with Dimples. Now Bleep is worried, for only enough Futonic power remains in the machine for one more try. Scratch must come back this time, or he will be left forever in the past. Once again, Bleep throws the switch. And just in time, Scratch jumps aboard the Futamic transport, and now he's really on his way back. But wait, the power's beginning to fade, and the years are clicking off slower and slower until finally, the machine stops dead, somewhere in the past century. Poor Scratch is stuck back in the 1800s. Now he'll never get back. But wait, what's that strange noise? And that, it's getting louder and louder, closer and closer. But what can it be? Why, it's Scratch, riding back from the 19th century in an early automobile, towing the rundown atomic time transformer behind him. And so Scratch had a wonderful birthday. And now he's back with his friends again. You can just bet that no one else in the whole wide world ever got a pet dinosaur for a present. Yes, it's fun to dream about the past, but for real fun, there's no time like the present. And now, stand by for adventure.
3, 2, 1.
In the exciting story of the Runaway Rocket. It was midnight. An intense full moon beamed down on 00 Island as little Squeak slept in his cozy bed and Scratch snored loudly in his darkened cave below. All was peaceful as Colonel Bleep studied the Futamic radar scanner. With this instrument, the Colonel could watch any unusual movements in the universe. And this very night, a giant new rocket was scheduled to be launched by the United States of America from an experimental rocket launching base on the east coast of Florida. Yes, there it was. As Bleep watched the scanner, he saw the rocket soar skyward at tremendous speed, then level off towards the wastes of the South Atlantic Ocean. This was a test firing, and Bleep was pleased to see the Earth people making such excellent progress with rockets. But at that instant, something seemed to go wrong. The moon appeared to concentrate all its glowing power on the nose of the missile, forcing it to veer off its planned course and to streak instead directly toward 00 Island. In only seconds, it would come crashing down to destroy Squeak's little dream house, Scratch's peaceful cave, and Colonel Bleep's headquarters for his secret mission here on Earth. In a flash, Bleep darted into the sky to meet the speeding projectile. Quickly, he maneuvered himself between the mysterious moon rays and the onrushing missile, and with a blast of Futamic power, he brought the rocket to a screeching halt in mid-air. Using his Futurian skill in the powers of reverse propulsion, Bleep safely returned the rocket to explore the launching site, ready for use in further test flights in the future. Then Bleep hurried back to his island base to begin some very serious thinking. What was wrong on this peaceful isle? Why had Scratch recently tumbled into the open jaws of a giant sea serpent to be nearly trapped forever deep inside? Everyone knows that all sea monsters are purely imaginary and not real creatures at all, except for this particular sea serpent. Yes, this monster had been real enough. And then a terrible termite had kidnapped poor Squeak, the little wooden puppet, for a tasty dinner. But what had caused an ordinarily tiny insect to grow into a huge and terrifying monster? Bleep turned to his microscope to examine again those traces of interplanetary wood dust which he had discovered on the wings of the termite. The Colonel was sure this strange substance held a valuable clue. And that runaway rocket, the way the moon had concentrated its rays on the nose of the device, you would have almost thought it was being guided by moon power. Colonel Bleep was certain somewhere in outer space, a powerful and evil force was being directed against Bleep and his friends. But only one person in the entire universe had such evil power. That person was Dr. Destructo. But of course, Dr. Destructo was at this moment a prisoner in a space bubble anchored in the outer ring of Saturn. Or was he? Bleep had to be sure. He switched on his Butonic frequency transmitter and directed a secret code message to the Interplanetary Intelligence High Command on the planet Futura. Advise status of Dr. Destructo immediately. Soon, Bleep would have his reply. But meanwhile, another day was beginning on 00 Island. And now, stand by for adventure.
3, 2, 1.
In the exciting story of
The Treacherous Trio! On a dark and lonely moon far out in space, three powerful villains of the underworld meet in secret session. Black Patch, the space pirate, the Black Knight of Pluto, and the sinister black robot have banded together in a fearsome alliance to plot the destruction of Colonel Bleep. Hear me out, mateys. There's but one way to dispose of this here Colonel, and that's by pirate treachery.
Ho, 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 never! Only my superior battle skill can conquer the spaceman from Futura.
Fools! Idiots! Only an ingenious mechanical brain like my own can outwit the clever Bleep.
Avast, you blasted varmints! My scheme cannot fail. We attack at dawn.
Hooray!
Together we'll hoist the Jolly Roger over 00 Island.
Hooray!
Bleep and his deputies will be destroyed forever.
Hooray!
At daybreak, a formation of 3 deadly space subs streaks through the universe. Reaching planet Earth, they dive headlong into the briny deep to arrive unseen beneath the blue lagoon of 00 Island, headquarters for Colonel Bleep. Patiently, the space pirate scans the island through his powerful periscope until at last, ahoy, mateys! There's Little Squeak himself, victim number 1. Help! Help! What's that? Help! Help! Why, it's Scratch, stranded alone in the deepest part of the Blue Lagoon. In a flash, the puppet streaks to the aid of his helpless buddy. Stop, Squeak! It's a trap! That's not Scratch at all, only a dummy!
Aha!
It's too late. Squeak is the prisoner of the black robot. Stand fast, you lubbers. Here's victim number 2. Oh, no!
Help! Help!
This time the caveman is tricked by the same deadly scheme. Now Scratch is a prisoner of the Black Knight. Can nothing stop this terrible treachery? Ahoy, Colonel Bleep! Surrender to me, or Squeak and Scratch die at the count of 3. This is terrible. Bleep must surrender, or Squeak and Scratch are done for. 1. The Colonel is desperate for a plan. A powerful blast of photonic energy would dispose of the villains, but the lives of his space deputies would also be lost. Hell! Time is running out. Only one chance remains. A triple-powered reverse frequency supercharged bolt of frigid plutonium 505 might do the trick. But can Bleep generate enough super energy in time? 3! He did it! Instantly, the entire lagoon is frozen into solid ice. Quickly, Bleep rescues his frozen deputies. Now the Colonel strikes again. A powerful blast of atomic energy melts the ice into a sea of boiling water. Yow! The culprits flee for their very lives. And in no time at all, Squeak and Scratch are thawed out just as good as new. Yes, Colonel Bleep had made it pretty hot for the three cold-blooded monsters of the Blue Lagoon.